ill health effects, which we're trying to eliminate here. That's why we want to create an open space to allow individuals to share their life journey through our platform. We aim to create awareness about the life challenges and the struggles and the overcomings that our men and boys have to go through in their lives. There are no limitations with gender, age, nationality, or ethnic groups. Everyone is invited to participate in our programming. Our goal is to make a positive impact on someone's life through this program. Open Up is on Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for joining us. And we bring individuals to share their life journey and to help empower you. Before I introduce our guest today, I'd like to remind you that Voice of Men 360's mission is always delivered with good faith towards peaceful harmony. Views and opinions expressed in today's episode are those of our speakers and do not necessarily represent Voice of Men 360. Our organization engages in discussion forum to offer inspiration and create awareness to the issues of men who wish to overcome their life challenges. We're not providing medical or therapeutic advice. Should you require that type of assistance, we recommend you contact a medical professional immediately. If you have any questions or concerns about today's content or any Voice of Men 360 content, please email us info@voiceofmen360.org. Today, our guest is Jeff Wickersham. He's the founder of Morning Life Coaching. He's a leader in the Kings of Sparta Mastermind. He's a sought-after performance coach whose mantra is rise, fight, love, repeat. I love that, which is also the title of his first best-selling book, Rise, Fight, Love, Repeat, Ignite Your Morning Fire. He guides clients to implement game-changing habits for more energy, abundance, and time in their lives through the power of the 4-step morning methodology. Jeff hosts Morning Fire for Entrepreneurs podcasts, is a Tony Robbins Award winner, and recently hit 1,400 straight days of meditation and 1,000 straight days of a cold shower/ice bath. Welcome, Jeff Wickersham. Thank you for joining us and being willing to share your life journey on Open Up.
Thanks, RJ. I appreciate you having me.
Wonderful. No, thank you for joining us. Again, you've already taught us some of that energy this morning, so I'm looking forward to the conversation we're gonna share with people. But you know, you've got a passion for this. Take us back as early as you can. Where does this passion for energy and fire in your life? Where does that come from? As early as you can, tell us where that may have.
Yeah. So it wasn't very early in my life. Obviously, I played sports growing up and being a part of a team, but really my journey starts, it'll be seven years ago this December, where I lost my mom to breast cancer. So watching my mom take her last breath fundamentally changed me at my core. And I was lost for those days, weeks, months ahead, questioning everything in life, right? When you watch the woman that brought you into this world leave this world, it changes you profoundly. And through that self-discovery, through asking myself difficult questions, I unearthed that fire, that passion, that energy that was inside, probably always, but society, negative beliefs, all those pieces to the puzzle were layers on top of that energy. It just needed to be almost reborn. And I would say it was the passing of my mom that was the spark to light my fire. And now it's just been that continuous day after day work on myself to get better has really brought that energy to the forefront.
I love the way that whole little blurb came out, because you talked about how later in life you got this passion, you got this fire, and it was a catalyst or something, some moment in life that made you realize that you need to put this energy or this fire into life. Quite like all of us, again, I needed something fairly drastic in my life to hit me hard. I was about to lose my wife, the family, everything. And then I changed my life. So most of us have to hit that. And so you mentioned that, but you also mentioned how prior to that you were drifting, kept down by societal pressures or some of the things we see in the media. That's kind of what you alluded to. So take us back to your childhood, your upbringing. Tell us what it was like for you that maybe didn't inspire you to live that life.
Well, I would say, society in general wants you to stay down that safe and certain path, as well as our minds are wired to stay safe and certain, right? Anytime we get out of that comfort zone, all of a sudden fear creeps in and our mind stops us in our track. So I had a great childhood growing up, oldest of three kids. I got a younger brother, 3 years younger sister, 6 years younger. Mom, dad always encouraged me. Sports was really my outlet. I was a shy, introverted kid. I still remember the story my late mother used to tell my friends or my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, that she had to go with me to a friend's house when I was like 5 years old because I was such a mama's boy and I needed her there for assistance. But loved sports. Sports was one of the things that broke me out of my shell growing up, and being a part of a team. Wow, that there's just amazing power when you're surrounded by other people and you're on a mission to go accomplish something. And what happens, I feel, is as we grow up, we lose that team, right? You go into college, you become an adult, you get out into the business world. You don't have that team that you might have had in youth sports or either in high school or college. And men drift then at that point because you don't have a mission. You're not surrounded by other men that are saying, yes, I want this. I'm striving for that. This is our mission as a team. So it's incredibly powerful. But, sports definitely was a catalyst in my life. I had great coaches, and they gave me some words of wisdom, instilled discipline in me. And those were some amazing pieces to the puzzle.
So tell us then. You obviously had some manly male influences, whether it be coaches or your fellow players. What were the relationships like, if you wouldn't mind? Tell us, how that bond helped you grow.
One would be them instilling hope and a future vision that I could be successful, right? That was very, very important. One of my a couple coaches that call out. One was my dad. He coached me in baseball. Positivity would be his piece that he brought to the table, which I bring to the table now. And he had a famous a famous saying, "Little bingo." He'd yell out from third base coach, "Little bingo, little bingo," and all my friends still to this day remember that because he was encouraging you to get a hit as you were up at bat. My high school football coach was a military guy. Discipline, discipline, discipline. We had to say yes, sir, to him. Discipline was such a key component to what he instilled in us as high schoolers, and I would say that was really critical to my development too. So those two coaches were definitely two that stick out in my mind.
Hmm. And those are the things we look for in our lives. Because again, you know what? If you don't have them, you need to go out there and seek them, right? At an early age, I remember, like, my father was an almost absentee father, not because he wanted to, but because of the situation, the struggle between parents. So he wasn't in my life, in the developing years as well as should have been. But we valued those relationships. I remember, a youth club I went to where the leader just automatically, there was not necessarily a father-son bond, but certainly an intimate bond that helped me develop and grow, and certainly develop those values you talk about. And then so we talk about your father, of course, being your first coach. Way to go on those words. Now, your father, I probably was a coach, it sounds like, but our father is our first coach. Tell us about the relationship you had there, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, it was definitely that those words of encouragement. It was being positive. It was having that mindset as well as the work ethic, right? If you want to get better at something, you need to practice. You need to put in the effort. You need to put in the repetitions, and that was so vital. And probably the bond that him and I had, and seeing him coach me and how much positive impacts that made on my life. That's why I got into coaching even before I had two sons, right? I was coaching youth sports at a senior legion baseball level down to a youth basketball level at 10, 11, 8, 9, 10, 11 year olds. So it was vitally important. Positivity, hope, and then that work ethic of you got to put in the work if you want to get better at something.
Mm. So I want to just maybe play something out here for you. Could you imagine if you didn't have sports, or you didn't have teams and that active lifestyle in your life? Would your life have been different? Would you have been so inspired? Would you have been so on fire for leadership?
Without a shadow of a doubt, no way. No way possible. I mean, that was the path to me opening up as a young boy I had glasses since I was 5 years old. I had that 80s bowl haircut, right? I was quiet. I was shy. I wasn't confident. But when I got onto the sports field, I excelled. And that allowed me to establish some bonds, some friendships, all those pieces. So without a shadow of a doubt, no way would I have been, or would I be right now where I'm at without that sport, team, physicality piece of my life.
Yeah, thank you for doing that with me because again, I like to, we like to inspire and I wanted people to see what fires you up, right? Because you do seem like a very passionate person who has energy and who has a lot to share from life experience. So I wanted people to see that we need those, like you said, the friendships, the relationships, the bonds, the drive. We need something to build our confidence. So um, this has been amazing so far. But so now you come into, you know, that you're beyond that team now. You're beyond that sports. You're moving into adult life. Where do you take that? What do you come out of? Do you go to college and then where do you come out of that?
Yeah, I went to college and then went into corporate America as so many people do that go through the college circle. I developed a close friendship, a brotherhood. I actually started a fraternity at the college I went to because I didn't fit in any of the others, and I had a lot of good friends that felt the same way. It's still there as a chapter at the school I went to. So terribly proud of that. But then I went into corporate America, and I went down that path that society kind of steers us towards, right? And got a job. Wasn't extremely passionate about it necessarily because it wasn't core to that energy factor, that lifeblood that flows through my veins. But I did that for 20 years nearly and jumped from job to job. But I would say, and I say this so many times, I was a walking zombie
Mm,
through life, but I wasn't awake to that fact until my mom passed. So it was almost 20 years, probably 18 years. I was walking through life, numbing it with alcohol, sedating it with whatever else is out there. And it wasn't until my mom passed that I was truly woken up to the fact that I have a choice. I can do whatever I want. And it takes effort, it takes discipline, it takes tenacity. And so many others I see out there are basically going through the motions. And life is so precious. It's such a gift. It's a gift that we're talking here today. And every day you get is truly a gift. And that's so incredibly powerful.
mhm. Absolutely. People often ask me, how, it's a good day. Well, how good a day? Well, I'm here, man. I'm here. It's a good day. So I love that. So now I love talking about how dissatisfied you were. A walking zombie, you said. You know what? We do that. We get stuck in a job because we grow up. And, it doesn't matter whether we have to start at Tim Hortons to grow from there or we start in, a job in the mailroom or at a manual labor. We get in a job because we need to pay the bills. We need to survive. We don't get in a job because this is what I want to do. It fires me up and I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. Or very few of us get that opportunity anyways. We usually grow into it later in life. Um, so people need to know that there's hope beyond dissatisfaction. You can change your life, as you said. And you were inspired to do so. So what do you do now that you've made this change some 7+ years ago?
Yeah. So one, I had the courage and I had a supportive family that said, yes, chase your dream. Because I still remember going out to dinner with my wife saying, I'm leaving corporate America and I'm going to go out on my own. And she said I was crazy. But that was absolutely the true. And I remember I heard Joe Rogan say this recently. I love it, that crazy and greatness are next door neighbors. And many times they borrow each other's sugar. I just love that statement. But it caused me to go deep and really dive into what I'm passionate about. The physicality, exercise. I started a gym business right after my mom passed away because I was always into fitness. My late mother was always into fitness. And then what organically grew out of that was high performance coaching because I would have 100 people put in a 10-question application through Facebook to me at the gym, but only 15, 20 maybe would answer a phone call, reply to a text, or respond to an email. And I thought, what is the issue? The issue is the battle within, right? The battle in between our ears, the battle in our minds. Our minds never sleep, never eat, know our exact weaknesses, and are always battling us in anything we do. So I went down the personal development rabbit hole, coaches, courses, podcasts, books, you name it. I just dove in because I knew I needed to up level as a human being. And through that discovery, that's where I landed on how do you bookend your days? What's that last 30 minutes of the day look like? How do you prepare for success? And then what's that first 30 minutes of the day look like? And how do you stack wins? So it's like jet fuel to your veins. And that's the rise, fight, love, repeat. That's the 4-step morning fire methodology. It's not talked about or taught in schools at any level. We don't talk about it in family circles, but it's the foundation, the true foundation to anything you want to accomplish in life. And you're going to have things that knock you off kilter. But if you have that foundation every single day, you'll be able to stay grounded and continue that movement forward.
I love that. Again, I'm looking to move into the entrepreneur lifestyle. I'm still a, employee. I still have that life, but I'm looking to learn more about this morning fire. I want to check out your podcast, hopefully, for sure. But so let's talk about that. Because I believe, look, sometimes we wake up in a bad mood in the morning and we don't know why. We just woke up in a bad mood. And you mentioned it, you alluded to it, is that our mind never sleeps. While we're sleeping, our mind is telling us what kind of day we're going to have by its dreams, by its thoughts, by its recollections. Now you wake up pissed off and you don't know why. So what does that evening routine look like, that 30 minutes you mentioned, so that we can set ourselves up for a better morning?
Yeah, RJ, I love that. I mean, you said it, right? Our mind is playing through our subconscious all night long. So what do you feed it at night? Well, so
Yes.
many times we beat ourselves up for what we didn't do in the day or what we didn't do yesterday or 2 weeks ago, right? We're the only species on the planet that continues to beat ourselves up over and over again for the things that we didn't do. So number one is celebrating a success. What did you do great today? And really lean into, hey, here's an amazing thing I did today, and be proud of that fact. Two is closing down electronics, right? Preparing for actually a good night's sleep. And so many people struggle with sleep and quality sleep, but yet they're on their phone with blue light coming into their eyes up until the moment they go to sleep, or they're watching TV and they're overstimulated. So preparing for a good night's sleep is number two, right? So if it's blue light blockers, if it's shutting down electronics hour, 2 hour before bed, perfect. The other piece is preparing for what you're going to do right when you wake up. So anxiety, depression, mental illness is at an all-time high, right? Due to COVID, all those external circumstances that are out there. But so many times people don't know, what am I going to do right when I wake up in the morning? And not what are you going to do just to get the day moving? What are you going to do to light yourself up physically, mentally, spiritually? Imagine waking up and knowing exactly what you're going to execute on, having it laid out so you can do it quickly, stack those wins, and you feel good physically, you feel good mentally, you feel good spiritually. It's an amazingly powerful thing. So anything you can do at night to prepare so you know what to do right when you wake up. And I had a guy that went through my program. He got off all his anxiety medication because he said, in the morning is when I'm most anxious. And I said, well, imagine, asked him why. He said, because I have all these thoughts. I said, we're going to flip that. You're not going to have these thoughts. You're going to execute all these things. So you're going to feel good about yourself. And it was amazingly transformational for him.
Absolutely. Again, you know what? I remember just setting myself up by laying out my clothes. You know what I mean? My pants, my shirt. I have a wardrobe. A little thing that I can hang my sweater, my pants. Just doing that, or it helps relieve the mind. Or for some people, I don't like it, but some people taking a shower at night. You know what I mean? These little things can help improve your efforts in the morning because you've taken care of them from your mind. You've eased that burden.
Yes, so true.
So tell us then, what is it in the morning? How do we get fired up? How do we move on from that? We've woken up now maybe in a better mood this morning. How do we fire ourselves up?
Yeah, and RJ, I just want you reminded me as you said this about our feelings, right? And our feelings will betray us 50% of the time, right? And there are 50% of the mornings where I get up pretty darn early during the week, 4:15 every single day. My feelings, if I relied on my feelings, would stop me in my tracks. And we've gotten this process backwards. So many times we rely on our feelings to drive our actions, and then that shapes our identity. But if we rely on our feelings, 50% of the time, we're not going to take action. And then 50% of the time, that's going to make our identity. And we're going to feel crappier about ourselves because we're the person that doesn't follow through with the action that we need to. Imagine if you flip that process, and we go identity, action, feelings. So the identity I have is I'm a peak performance coach, and I get my butt up out of bed and I'm kicking butt. So that identity is who I am. So when I have a feeling, it doesn't penetrate that identity that I've built. So that identity compels me to take action every single day, get up, get my morning fire routine in. Then how do I feel after it? I feel like $1,000,000. So if we flip that script, flip that process around, it's so vitally important to do that, because we always rely on our feelings, and we've been taught that way. But your feelings betray you. We just talked about your mind is your biggest enemy. Your feelings betray you. But if you show up as an identity, or your future state identity that you want to be, you're going to have jet fuel, and you're going to take action. You're going to feel better. And then it spins in the positive way versus the negative way when we rely on our feelings. So you just reminded me with that question. I just wanted to bring that up.
And if I can interject, because I love that, because if you're the feeling type of person, you know what I mean? I'm not going to do this because I don't feel right now, right? I can do that later. You know what? Just knowing I'm not that person, but this is the person I want to show up as. This is the person I want to be, stepping forth, and just, this is my identity. I can put that forth in the morning so that I can take action of, right? So even if you are that feeling person, you can step into this identity process, which will help you move forward, like you say. I love that. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I know you wanted me to talk a little bit about the morning piece. So, when you wake up, number one, and I'll give you 3 right off the top of my head that you can do anywhere, whether you're traveling, on vacation. Number one is having a full glass of water, right? Our body is made so much of water, yet the longest stretch we go without water is when we sleep. So waking up,
a full glass of water, by the way, is a half a bottle of water, right? Or are you talking just downing a full bottle, within
full bottle right when you wake up?
So we're talking 2 glasses of water, which, I mean, that's still not a lot.
Yep. Yes.
But
so you're doing that right when you wake up. And I tell clients, coach everybody, that glass of water or bottle of water needs to be ready right when you wake up. I have it downstairs. It's in a cabinet because I've got 2 cats. It's ready. And people say, that's ridiculous. Why should it be ready all the way out? I said, well, let's go through the scenario. Imagine you walk down in the morning and you didn't shut the dishwasher ever so tightly, and there wasn't a clean cup. That's your mind's first opportunity to say, you know what, Jeff, this is too freaking hard. Go back to bed. Heck with this morning routine, right? So that's why it's so vital the night before to have everything planned out, so you can stack these wins. So having a full glass of water, that starts the rehydration process. That starts the wake up process. And it's going to start that energy process as well. And energy is so vital to your success. Number 2 is exercising. I call it a power workout. It can be 5-10 minutes in length, push-ups, sit-ups, air squats, jumping jacks, burpees, or a walk. But moving the body, we were meant to move. We are physical beings that were meant to move. So you move the body, again, you're going to kick up that energy level. And then number 3 is meditation. We are bombarded by so many different bits and pieces of information. We have more stimuli that come into our viewpoint in one day than our ancestors did their entire lives. So we need time, space to focus on our breath, focus on calming our mind, and just sit there for 10 minutes and meditate. If you struggle, I still struggle even after 15 days with my mind wandering. I always use guided meditation. So somebody speaking to me as I control my breath, as I sit in silence and sit in peace. And it's so incredibly powerful to get even just 10 minutes of just focusing on your breath and calming down. It's incredibly powerful. So those are our 3 things: glass of water, exercise, meditate. You can do that anywhere you go, and it's an incredibly powerful way to start your day.
Yep, I've heard it. That's part of the 5 a.m. club. I'm sure people are familiar with that out there. You know what? Waking up early. It starts off the day right. Getting that water so that again, now your body's getting vitalized with all the fluids. We're starting to move, and then exercise. We are going to move. We're going to get that body going. and then that 10 or 20 minutes, if you can manage it, just to reflect and connect with yourself. Absolutely, I've heard that morning routine. I haven't been implementing it day to day. I've used it, you know what I mean, but I have not implemented a day-to-day practice of that. So I'm sure that would be beneficial to me and so beneficial to everyone out there. So thank you for that, Jeff. You know, you've given us so much advice, so much guidance today. I love your routines, how you can set up people for life. This is the thing that people need out there. There are two questions I like to ask before we end this show. And that the first one is, what can our men and boys do out there to empower their own lives?
One, it's making a commitment to themselves and those around them, right? Whatever you're going to take on, you need to commit. You need to commit, burn the boats, go all in, right? And one of the strategies I've always leveraged is making it public, right? Telling friends, put it on social media. When you do that, there's a switch that gets flipped in your subconscious mind. You actually follow through with what you're going to do, because you inherently don't want to look like a liar. So that would be one, is commit. And then two is, after that commitment, just putting in the work, right? Day in, day out. And so many times we don't see the progress because we are in the muck, right? We are doing it and we don't see the progress, but the progress is occurring. And if we fall in love with the mundane, doing things over and over again, that's the repeat and rise, fight, love, repeat, right? It's that repetition over and over again, because what you want is, you want those habits, those traits, those rituals to become automatic, right? Our mind automatically programs so much of our days, right? Our habits and rituals can drive up to 90% of what we do. It's why we stay stuck. It's why we feel like it's Groundhog Day every single day.
Mhm.
So by repeating what you're going to do, falling in love with the mundane, just doing it day in, day out, then that builds those habits and rituals that are going to set you up for success, because you have habits and rituals that you're doing now. But more than likely, if you are frustrated, if you aren't where you want to be, those habits and rituals are the things that are holding you back.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And changing your habits and just doing it slowly and implementing it as a process, and making it mundane, as part of our lives. We stop at Tim Hortons on the way to work, or, you know what I mean? These are things we just do. We don't think about it as part of what we do. This is, you're talking about different practices, but again, just those little things that we normally do every day and making it the norm, can change our lives. So I love that. Thank you very much. And then, so what can we do as a society to help them with that journey?
Continue to be a voice of a beacon of hope, a voice of positivity. And if you're struggling, you need to find a group, find a tribe, find a brotherhood, find a coach, somebody to help guide you. Because so many times when we're inside the bottle, we can't read the label, right? And we can't see out of where we're operating. So surrounding yourself with other, back to my teams when I was growing up as a kid, surrounding yourself with other men that are on a mission to do something better in their life, to get off that never-ending treadmill of life, to get out of that lane that society has us going down. If we aren't happy, you've got to surround yourself with others that are on that same mission. Then you'll all grow together, and that's incredibly powerful piece to the puzzle.
Yes, I love that one. That's the number one mission I live by. Look, I'm not doing this alone, and I don't have to. There are so many people out there, especially men. When I discovered this men's journey and the men's work that's happening out there, my life has taken on a new mission. There is my fire. That's what I live by now. So I do believe this. You know what? Find your passion, find your fire, and then it becomes what you do, right? So it changes your life and your whole perspective. Is there anything that you would like to leave us today that you haven't been able to tell us so far?
Just that every single day is a gift, right? I think we alluded to that a little bit. Every single day you're upright, it is a gift, and it is an opportunity, right? It is an opportunity you will never get back again. So if you can operate with that mentality on a daily basis, it's going to compel you to action. It's going to compel you to move. It's going to compel you to do those things that your mind might be telling you not to do, right? But now we've talked about that identity, that future identity you want to show up as. You're the person that takes action. So every single day is a gift that you'll never get back, and it's an opportunity that I hope, pray, and motivate people to not lose that opportunity.
Thank you. That was Jeff Wickersham. Thank you for joining us today and sharing your life journey. I appreciate the courage it takes and your willingness to come out and share with other men.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. So, gentlemen, we have, again, several live shows that we create here in Voice of Men 360. The first you just participated in is called Open Up. That's a live talk show where we share personal life journeys to help empower you. That takes place Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And then we have the same thing that takes place in Tamil language. That's called Vili, which means I. Again, we in Tamil language, we bring up people to share their life journey. That one takes place Sundays at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. We also host a monthly webinar the first Saturday of every month. That's 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, where we bring out an organization to share their expertise and it's discuss a topic of interest to them, but also of interest to our community. We host a very vital special show we call The Unspoken Tears. Takes place the second Saturday of every month from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. This one is the focus of domestic violence against men, bullying, male sexual abuse, traumas, and human trafficking. These things do exist, and we discuss them here. We also co-host a show with the All Bengal Men's Forum called the South Asian Men Show, where we discuss topics of interest to South Asian men. But we bring out different countries to discuss an interest to their region. So please join us for that this third Sunday of every month, 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we turn all of our content into podcast episodes. So please look out for us on your favorite platforms, Apple, Google Play, Spotify, and more. And then we have some support groups here in Voice of Men 360. The first is a men's only support group, only for men by men. This is the Open Up Men's Peer Group. So please join us every 2 weeks, Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Our next one is November 30th. Please register and join us through our Facebook page or group. Thank you for joining us on that one. And then we have an Indigenous peer-to-peer support group. This one we call Pass the Talking Stick. That takes place the fourth Friday of every month. Again, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. through Zoom. The next one will be Friday, November 26th. Again, please register to join us for that one. And there are no limitations with gender, age, nationality, or ethnic groups. All walks of life are invited to participate in our programming. If you want to be a guest on any of our shows, or you're willing to be a part of our organization and help us, whether directly or indirectly, please reach out. We're looking to work with individuals, professionals, governments, community organizations, associations, and more. Please reach out. Our phone number is 437-889-8329. Email us info@voiceofmen360.org, which makes our email address www.voiceofmen360.org. You can find us on all of your favorite social media platforms, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on YouTube, and visit our Facebook group. We're looking to increase the voice. We're looking to increase our membership numbers. We're approaching 3,000 right now. We would love to see that number at 5,000 by the end of this year. Look, there's a lot of men out there sharing the voice and doing the work. Please join us. Please share the message so that we can reach these numbers, 5,000 by the end of this year. So please, thank you for joining us, and thank you for all your support. We want to reach out and help more people. Please continue all the support you provide to us. Thank you for joining us today. Again, I'm your host, RJ Horner. Until next time, I'm asking you to open up.